Hello, my name is Justin Bilyeu, and I'm going to be walking us through the TSAP application today. So the first step is going to be needing the link to the form that should have been emailed to you when we were first talking to you about this grant opportunity. So you should have that link, and if you don't have it in your email, you can always request it, or you can go to our Commerce website, and our export page will have the links on it, but you can also just search in the grants and loans tab. You can always go to the keyword search and search TSAP, and it'll pull up both the initial application and that reimbursement application. It's a little easier to get turned around in here, so I always recommend going through the original link that we sent you, because that just ensures that you're going to the right place. And so if we open up that link, it'll take us to the landing page. We can confirm it is the right grant. Yep, TSAP. Doesn't say reimbursement, so we know we're in that initial application. You'll be tempted to click this application forms. It's not going to be there. Again, you have to click the blue apply button. If you're a company, then you're going to use the citizen login. If you've applied for a TSAP grant before 2025, then you're going to have to make a new login because this is a new grant platform as of 2025. And if you're new to the program, then yeah, you're going to need to create a login. So you'll click citizen login, and then it'll ask you either for your credentials or to create a login, and then it'll send you a verification email, and then you'll be set up there. If you have any problems with that process, or you've created one in the past and you can't remember it, or if somebody else in your company has created one and now you're going in to do another one or edit it, it'll ask you for a registration number because it'll see that that company already exists. The registration number can be accessed underneath the original creator's profile. And it's like there's only a couple things that show up on the profile. One of them's that number. Or you just call the state IT people here, dial 2 for login support. There's the number. So that's if you just have any problems with logging in, they can see the info in the background and get you logged in pretty fast. So never hesitate to call them if you have any questions with the login process, or if you just don't know where that registration number is, because if you go to log in and there's already a company, your company already exists, it'll ask you for that number, and then that can be a hang up for people. But just quickly give them a call and get past it. And then you'll get logged in. It'll take you to the form. And after you have your login credentials, it's a lot easier. Your first time's a little trickier because you just have to get that initial login. But once you already have it, it takes you right to a pretty short form. So you'll see my request. That'll keep your drafts. You can go back to and open. This is, if you click your name, that's that profile I'm talking about, where it'll show you your email that you use and your registration number that you could share if you want to have multiple logins for the same company. But my request, you can go edit your drafts if you had to pause for some reason, and then go back in and submit, and it'll show you all the grants you previously submitted as well. So I'll just ask you for your basic information to start. If you have any questions with this, you can always reach out to us, because there's a couple gray area products that you might be curious about. Make sure that you qualify. You can always just reach out and ask. It'll give you some ask for basic company information. So I'm just going to quickly buzz through this so that we can get to the next step. But you'll see, okay, I got it in my basic information. What do you do? How can that benefit Montana? What's your current marketing strategy? So just put in what you're doing there. That just helps us really understand your business. Your markets, what you're already in, what you're trying to do. And then trade show details. So since this is the TSAP grant, it's specifically just for domestic trade shows. So this is already selected for you here. So all you have to do is put in your trade show name, just the info. And usually if you have the trade show website, it gives you all the info you need. Again, if you get in here and you're like, oh, I'm missing something, you can always, once you put in your basic info, you can then click start application. That creates the saved draft. And then you'll see the button to switch over to submit. So once you're done kind of putting in your company information, you can click Start Application. That creates the draft that shows up in My Requests. And if you're ready to go, you just click Start Application, create the draft, and you can click Submit right away, and then it's in. And as soon as you create a draft, I can see your draft and see that you're working on something. So I can always bug you if it's been sitting as a draft for a while, because sometimes you'll just forget to click Submit. But I can already see it once you get it into that draft. So you'll put in your basic trade show information. The TSAP grant does heavily prioritize first time shows. But if it's sort of the same organizer, the same show in a different show location, that can change the prioritization because you're still trying a new location, which, yeah, then that'll be prioritized as well. So never hurts to get an application, but first time shows are heavily prioritized. So it could encourage you to try a new show if you were going to apply for one that you've done on a recurring basis. And if it's been a few years, then again, there's kind of that'll be taken into consideration as well. So you'll put in that information if you've exhibited before. And if you say yes, it'll say where and when, because if it's been 2 or 3 years old, then we can take that into consideration as well. But again, hopefully it'll be no, and then yes, I have experience, or no, and then we can let us know if we need to give you any tips and tricks. Then you put in the goals of your show, and then the trade show budget. This is just rough estimates, so how much you think it's going to cost, so just put in those basic estimates, and then type 500 if you want that travel stipend. That's going to be for either hotels, airfare, ground transportation, and if it's close enough to where you're driving, all we need to know is where you're driving to, and so that's information is going to be gathered here. You don't need to submit gas receipts or anything. We just do it based off of the IRS mileage rate, so it's just like 63 cents for every mile or something like that. We can do that in the background based on where you went. So if you didn't fly, we'll give you a mileage reimbursement. That should help get you up to your 500. Usually, I mean, hotels will get you there too. So, okay. So then there is a bonus. This is only if, let's say, your show was actually pretty affordable. Your exhibit cost wasn't too high, so you're underneath your maximum. So let's say, and it's a 50% reimbursement rate. So if your trip doesn't get you up to this $3,000 max, because it's a $500 exhibit cost, and then you drove. So you have the $500 travel stipend, $500 cost, and you're not up to your max. A lot of people will be at that max, so the eligible for the bonus doesn't really matter. But if it was an affordable show, this $200 can help get you up closer to that max. So if you're a manufacturer that's doing our Made in Montana program, or if you're interested in joining that, just reach out. You'll find it on our website or ask us about it. It'll get you some customized branding and other benefits. And then if you're a tourism related service, and you've reached out with us, then you can get that bonus as well. So yeah, so then you'll need to put your W-9. Again, that needs to be a handwritten wet signature or a verified e-signature. So you upload that. And then this is just certifying the details of the grant stipulations. So you'll put your name and your title, date. That's important for us to get that certification on there. If you have any overflow attachments you want to throw in there, you can always add those at the bottom. Then you click Start Application. Kind of funny because this is kind of what you do after you've done your first run at it, but that creates then your draft. Now you can go through and edit your draft. Once it's edited, you click the Submit Application, and then you're good to go. You can see your drafts and your submitted applications under your My Request tab. Again, it takes a little while to load, so you might think, oh, it's just not, that button's not working, but it does work. It just takes a second to load. So again, you'll see these zeros here. Disregard that. We do all the the addition of what you're requesting on the back end. Okay, there's our draft. There's some other submitted ones. Let's click back into our draft because now let's say we're good to go. Amount requested, 0. Don't be concerned with that. We'll see how much you typed in there. We do it all manually in the back. So that'll always read zeros there. Don't let that concern you. So then you click submit application and that'll be all you need to do. For some reason you want to withdraw your application, you can always click that withdraw button. So yeah, you can always reach out for questions, but that's kind of the basics. So thanks for tuning in and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, bye.